All right, we are joined here by Timbers defender Finn Surman. We'll start it off with the questions in the room. Jeremy, go ahead.
Recording in progress.
All right. Jack was just in here. He just said that he hadn't really thought about the potential air quality issues for this game with all the wildfire smoke that's around on the training pitch. Just what adaptations do you have to make to your game to deal with like just hazardous air within the stadium?
I don't know. I've not really thought about it, to be honest. I noticed it was a little bit more muggy today, and I don't pay enough attention to what's going on in the world, to be honest. But no, I don't know what I'm going to do differently. Maybe just drink more water and stuff like that. Make sure the boys are hydrated and ready in that sense. But at the end of the day, we're just going to play football. What have I done?
Too quiet. Will it be a little bit weird playing with new players in the back line? You've been with Kamal, Jimmer, and Bai every game since the resumption and every match since, going back to the World Cup. With the rotation, you're a little bit excited to experience playing with new players here?
Yeah. I don't know what the team's going to be yet, but whoever plays, whoever I get to play with, as long as I do play, whoever I get to play with is always exciting, and I enjoy, playing with different players, different play styles, that sort of stuff, and then also trying to support them throughout the games. And I know that if we do, like you say, rotate a little bit or change some players, then it's an awesome opportunity for everyone. And I look forward to just trying to support people and try help this club win games.
Hey, how are you? My question is, you just went to play the World Cup. So how different or how similar is this Leagues Cup for you?
Again, it's different. I mean, all types of competitions are different, and international football is different to club football. But I think when you have this competition, it is exciting because it is something different from your regular MLS games, and we know we're coming up against teams that are slightly different styles, but with so much quality, and that's something that is super exciting for us as players and us as a club. It's always good to play against new players, new teams, and really test yourselves against other people. So I'm really excited for it.
Hi Finn, how's it going?
Hey.
I want to know, you were facing very good strikers the last games, like Osase de Rosario, Petar Musa, Gila Bogi for a while. What can you tell me about that type of battles that you're facing?
Yeah, I actually think in the last 3 or 4 weeks we've played against some of the best strikers in the West. I think a few of those strikers or attacking players are really good and real kind of powerhouses in this league. And so it's been a good test. It's been exciting. It's like I say, it's always a great challenge to go up against the best players, and players like Musa and Solans, for me in particular, are both really good players, and they're difficult to play against. So it's always a challenge against them, and it only makes us better. I think that Kamal and I have done a reasonably good job throughout these first 4 games of kind of dealing with that striker, and then with the help of the team, stopping the other teams. And we know we can still be better in moments, and there's certain things letting us down, but Leagues Cup's another opportunity for us to get more games together as a team and continue to get better.
How has this successful, albeit brief, Jack Cassidy tenure sort of helped revitalize the squad? Do you guys feel more energy with the new head coach coming in the next couple of days?
Yeah, I don't really know what's happening with the new coach, and I don't really know timelines and stuff like that. So it's all kind of up in the air. So I'm definitely not thinking about it too much. Trying to focus on what Jack's pushing us forward with, and I think that's what a lot of the players are doing as well. I think that you're right to say that he has revitalised kind of the squad, and you get a new voice and there's new energy in that, and I think that really has helped us kind of, I don't want to say fully turn things around from the start of the season, but the 4 results we've had have been a lot more positive than the first 14 games, and so he's done an amazing job. Him and the staff have done an amazing job of keeping us together. I know the staff in particular, it's difficult when there's a new coach coming and no one knows who's going to be here, no one knows who's going to stay, all that sort of stuff, and it's really difficult for those people. It's players, we've got a contract. Like Jimmy knows he's here until the end of the year. Like I know I've got a contract and then maybe an option next year. You know what I mean? And then it's harder for the staff. So I think that us as players are just super grateful for everyone that supported us, both Jack and the rest of the staff, because I know it's definitely not been easy.
Sorry. Do you watch a Mexican soccer, and do you know any of those teams, Puebla, America, or Tijuana, and which one you think will be more dangerous?
I watch a little bit. I don't watch a lot, but my experiences are from one of the TVs in here. We have them always, always during meal times. There's always games on, and so we're watching those either highlights or games, and so you kind of slowly recognise, because I don't watch it a lot, I don't know a ton about it. I had my experience in Leagues Cup last year, which was awesome, and I really enjoyed playing against Club America, and I think that experience last year and how we lost on penalties was a little bit disappointing for us, and it kind of stopped us going through. So I think I'm really looking forward to that game this year. I think all the teams are going to be really difficult through this group stage, but I think in particular Club America, because we played them last year, and yeah, looking forward to playing them again and trying to beat them.
Okay, we'll take one last question in the room.
He just answered it.
Oh, okay. All right, then we'll go to questions online. I think Petro's gonna.
Hi, Finn. How's it going? Carlos Ramirez from Apple TV and MLS. How are you?
Hey, good, thanks.
Talk to us about the relationship and what's different between playing alongside Alex and Kamal, because you've started every match since the World Cup break with Kamal at center back. What's different? Why is it working so well with Kamal?
I don't know. I think it's a mix of things. I think it's a mix of not just what's going on between us, but what's going on with the entire team, and kind of how we're essentially defending and playing. I think it's helping. Kamal's kind of stepped in and he's done extremely well. I think he was he's been our best player since coming out of the break, or one of our best players, and I think he's kind of, obviously, I guess you can say an opportunity, but he's taken it really well. And I think that throughout the first 14 games there was just a bit of instability within our backline, players changing in and out, and it's difficult to build those, partnerships and that sort of stuff throughout the back. They're both great players, and I really enjoy playing with both of them and supporting them. They have their own strengths. Alex is really good with, dribbling with the ball and bringing the ball forwards, and Kamal's passing is such high level, it's crazy to watch. And so they both bring different things to the team, and I enjoy playing with both of them. And so whoever I get the opportunity to play with is always special. And Kamal and I have done well the last 4 games, so continue to build on that is important. And then if me and Alex play together, then we can continue to build on our partnership and try to continue to build that and connect together.
We appreciate for everyone for being here today. We invite you to join us in the following press conferences. Thank you for your coverage and support of Leagues Cup 2026. Have a great day.
Okay, thanks guys.